What's up guys, Jonathan here once again, and today we are doing something slightly different. We are going to balance the XH2s on the Rs3. This is not the Pro, this is just the standard version. I made the first impression video when I purchased it, and I noticed that there's some wiggle play in all the axes, and so it's made the balancing very tedious and so on, but overall I have managed to sort it out. And one thing I've noticed as well is that when it's balanced and horizon not level, however the Rs2 or Rs3 does claim that it is straight, and so just a little fix there and there to get it up and running. So not to waste much of your time, I've placed the base plate on there already, and just to get onto it, we'll undo all the axes and then just slide it on. By the way, this is the 16 to 55 lens, and usually if you know that you're going to be zooming in and out, you want to zoom out just about 35 mil and then balance it. That way you can zoom in and out without it affecting the balance very harshly. The first thing is I am going to balance the tilt axis. As you see, it's mainly balanced already. What I do is, let's suppose that it's not balanced already, I put it upside down like that, and then I'll move the up and down slider until I know that it's perfectly straight. So when it's straight like that, I then fasten it, and then I'll go back to the tilt and use the slider here to micro adjust it. I realize that it's a little bit front heavy, so very tiny little micro adjustment. Then I'm able to, turn it anywhere and anyhow I want it to be at, and it will stay. So once that is done, I'll lock it in place, and then I'll go onto the roll axis. And the same thing, the roll axis might be off. You still have to somewhat lift it up a little bit and then slide it back and forth. And there you go. This is just in one go. And it is a little bit off, so there you go. And then finally, the final axis is easier to do, because what I do is, most people have it like that and then they tilt it to sideways, but what I do is just hold it up like this, and you realize that it's falling one way. So what you want is, you want it to remain in that plane. So if it stays in that position, then it's just spot on. So just about like that, you realize that it's not going anywhere. And the same thing goes when you move it sideways, you realize that it's not moving. So it's just easier that way, especially when it's a smaller camera and not a very heavy kit. So that is that. And also the XH2s and the XH2 is able to be controlled via the record buttons right here. So I always want to make sure that I connect that in so that I can control it. So I'll put that into the RSS and then connect it into the USB import. So to be able to have that controlled, you would need to actually go into your connections and then go to the first page and select connection settings and change that to USB tether. So USB tether shooting, that will allow you to hit record on here and it will trigger the camera to record. And so once that is done, I will also add the lens support system if needed, but in this case I never actually do, but you can add it if you want to. But if you are going to add it, make sure you add that before you start balancing, because this little thing will throw it off completely. So that is that. I'll turn it on, and straight away it says gimbal control poor, calibrate, and I'll do a full calibration. So now it's at 100% calibrated. However, if I turn this around and you have a look at the leveler on the camera, it's not straight as it should be. So that means that, you know, it's a little bit off. So it's either you manually tweak it or you just go with what it is. So what I tend to do is I'll manually tweak it a little bit so that it's nice and level. And the other thing that I was talking about is you realize that when you double tap to center everything, you realize that this frame here, if you align it with the screen here, you realize that it is a little bit off, it's not straight. And hence the reason why the leveler on the camera is not straight, because it's a little bit off axis, it makes the camera a little bit off as well. So that is what it is. So what I tend to do is go into my gimbal settings, and then I'll go to the horizon calibration, and then I'll do manual, and it's just a little -1 off, and then you realize that it's now ready to go and it's perfectly aligned. So that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in. Do hit subscribe button if you're new to this channel, and if not, you know, comment below. Let me know if there is any issues that you're facing that is similar to mine as well, with your leveling and also the axis not being straight on the Rs3. To me, as I said in the first initial impression video, this Rs3 has been built very, very poorly compared to the Rs2, unless it is a faulty unit on my side. But if it is, it is. But yeah, so that's it for me. Stay tuned and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.